think the team showed some character after that send-off?
Yeah, most definitely. Got to take my hat off to them. They worked extremely hard, and that first 20 minutes of the second half, I thought we were the only team that were going to score, but we just couldn't get that goal. And credit to Western Sydney, they're a good side. They, got their goal. It was a bit fortunate, but at the end of the day, the boys defended extremely well.
Was that the plan in the second half? Because normally you see a team go down to 10 and leading, you retreat, you soak up and you counter. But did you?
Yeah, we wanted to push. Look, it was important, as you say, a lot of times when teams go down to 10, they defend, and you just can't get any relief. And I didn't want that to happen. I wanted us still to attack and didn't want us to get in the drop too deep. And the boys, to their credit, they did that. You were still pressing at the right moments. We sort of realised we couldn't press all the time, but just we set it up in certain ways that we wanted to do it in the second half. And Alassane, he did a very good job. He led that line very well for us in the second half.
You also banking on the Wanderers expecting you guys to retreat. Was it not a little bit shell-shocked by your response coming out of the break?
Yeah, I think so. As you say, when teams go down to 10 men and for a whole, second half, normally they would come and try to hold on to the lead, and I just didn't think that would suit the style of players that we've got, and I've wanted them to go out and try and get a second.
Did you, in hindsight, do you think it was 2 points dropped because you had enough chances, right straight, that second half?
Look, at half time, if you said to me, we'll give you a point, I would have taken it. Most definitely, when you play 10 men for that long. Yes, disappointed that we didn't get the 3 points. I think up until the send-off, we were, fairly much in control of the game. It was just, I think it was going to be a matter of when we got a second goal. So that's, disappointing that that's what happened to it. But, those things happen in football, don't they? So, and the boys reacted extremely well.
You got a short turnaround now. You played McCarthy Wednesday. Tommy, I don't know what happened there. Alassane, was that tactical? And what happened to Cassini?
Look, Tommy is still, is not fully fit still. And tonight, we didn't really want to. Ideally, we wouldn't have had to start him, but we did, and we knew that he wouldn't last long. He's still having a few issues with his calves, but he did well for us in the first half. Cassini, we're not 100% sure with Cassini. It's whether he's got a little bit of, he has a little bit of a stiff back and has a little bit of tightness in his hamstring. So it just wasn't worth the risk of taking a risk with Cassini. So hopefully he'll be available for us on Wednesday night, hopefully. And Alassane, it was hard work when you're, the lone striker when you were 10 men, and we asked him to do a lot for us. And, in the end, we wanted to push for a second goal and get some fresh legs. That's all it was.
Just in the first half, we noticed that Tommy pointed to his calf early. Is that when it started controlling?
Yeah, look, it's a strange one. It comes and goes. The issue that he's having in his calf, we're trying to find solutions for it, and credit to Tommy, he's trying to play through it, but we just can't find what it is at the moment, and we just got to work with him and support him.
Just tonight was a local referee. Do you think sometimes that they work harder not to be?
Yeah, look, it's difficult. They're independent, aren't they? It doesn't matter if they're from here or not. At the end of the day, they try to make decisions that they believe is right. Sometimes they get them wrong, sometimes they don't, and you move on. At the end of the day, I have no issues with the referees making decisions and getting them wrong, because we all make wrong decisions. That's it's part of football. I'd rather them make the decision than leave it up for VAR.
So you're okay with Lewis's send-off?
Not really. I don't think the first challenge was a yellow card. Louis went in. He didn't make any contact with the player. The player, jumped out the way, and that was his first challenge in the game, and he got a yellow card for it. They had players that made 4 or 5 fouls in the game that didn't even get talking to. So it's difficult, but that's what happens. You just got to move on.
You think it's a blood of a game where you cannot review
Look, it's yellow cards and free kicks and whatever it is. As I say, the referee makes a decision. If it's right or wrong, we move on. I'd rather him make a decision out on the pitch and leave it for someone else. The same as the offsides. I'd rather put his flag up when it's offside and let it play for extra and wait for VAR to tell him it's offside. Yeah, look, Josh has been tremendous since he's been here, and you saw tonight his desperation. He was getting forward all the time. I've got to take my hat off to him. He's come in here, from a different club, and he's fitted in excellently. He's a great kid, and we're very fortunate that he's done so well for us.
In the first half, when you guys were on top, it looked like there was a clear plan to play on the right. Is that something you guys have identified that side? No,
look, I think that's the luxury of having a Ryan Strain on the right hand side. He likes to get forward, and he tonight again, I thought he had an excellent game. And with him and Benny, they've got a great understanding and they work extremely well together.
And just on the red cards during the game as a coach, how do you plan for that when you're down to 10 for an extended period and then the other team suddenly goes down to 10 towards the end? Is it just a case of reverting back to what you're doing at the start, or slightly different?
Yeah, look, as I said, when we went out for the second half, we made a conscious effort that we didn't want to defend too much, because you can't take the pressure for a long time. It will eventually crack. So we made that conscious effort that we wanted to still push. And we needed to adjust to see what they were going to do. And they, started the second half like they played the first half, and then they made a few adjustments. And I think it sort of suited us a little bit better when they went to a back four. So, it's, in the end, when they went down to 10 men as well, then, the game was fairly open, and anyone, I suppose, in the end could have come away with 3 points. So, in the end, the balance of the game, I'd take the point.
For your last 7 games of the season, they're going to be at home, and knowing your record at Coopers this year, do you think that sets the team up really well for the finals?
Yeah, most definitely. Look, it's, we've said all along, I think, including tonight, I think it was 12 games left, and 7 were at home, 5 away. And, this year we've shown that Coopers were very difficult to beat, and our supporters are fantastic. They really get behind us. You could see that tonight when we went down to 10 men, that the amount of support they gave us in that second half to give us a lift and keep pushing the boys. That was tremendous. They were our extra player out there tonight.
And Melbourne City dropped points just before earlier tonight. Has it got to that point where you're kind of looking at?
No, look, we're just looking at ourselves at the moment. We know we want to push for a top 2, because history shows the teams that finish top 2 generally play in the grand final and win it, and that's what we want to do. And we know it's in our hands. We've got a lot of home games, and if we can do our job, then it'll take care of itself.